Is your smile holding you back? See the orthodontic specialists at Smile Team and discover how Invisalign could help you achieve the smile you've always wanted. Want to know more? The almost invisible teeth straightening aligners that will help you to create a winning smile. Contact Smile Team Orthodontics today to arrange your Invisalign assessment. Smile Team Orthodontics, 100% pure orthodontics.
Come on into Collegians. Factory specialises in ribs, dry-aged steak and wood-fired pizzas, sourcing quality ingredients from the local area. So, see you at Collegians.
Good afternoon and welcome to Collegians Sports Centre. It is semi-final time in the Illawarra Coal League. Mitch Jennings bringing you all the action for Bar TV Sports of this clash between Collegians and Helensburgh. It's 3 versus 4. One side will have another next week. For the other, it'll be Mad Monday. Should be a belter of a clash. Luke Potter joins me, and Potsy, I think we're in for a good one this afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mitch. And yeah, we certainly are, mate. Wonderful conditions here at Collegians for this big clash. Certainly should be a cracker and could go either way. Really looking forward to this. Now to go through the team lineups this afternoon for Collegians, coached by Nathan Feen. Number 1, Lee Higgins. Number 2, Greg Davis. Number 3, Dante Effarimo. Number 4, Pat Norlea. 5 is Reece Jager. Number 6, Daniel Burke. Number 7, Luke Jerd. 8, Jake Woods. Number 9 and captain, Heath Lestrange. 10, Andrew Chard. 11, Liam Cassidy. 12, Blake Phillips. 13, Jordan Bowles. Warming the bench for the Collegians this afternoon, 14, Matt Tilley. 17, Mason Pure. 16, Ryan O'Connor. 18, Morris Higgin. Now for the Helensburgh Tigers, coached by Ryan Powell. Number 1, Wayne Bremner. Number 2, Scott Allen. Number 3, Israel Suafali. Number 4, Simon Masalenka. 5, Azan Tarua. 6, Grant Smith. 7, Mitch McRae. 8, Khan Salamalakis. 9, Hayden McRae. 10, Steve McCallum. 11, Chris Slater-Raptis. 12, Ben Ryan. Number 14, Joe Luardua. Number 15, Guy Galatly. And 17 is Stuart Mills.
Thanks, Potsy. And a very good first set there from Helensburgh. Would have been what they were looking for coming here this afternoon. Got to a kick, rolled it into touch. They'll get set and Collies will have to bring it out from deep inside their own territory. Different paths trod to this final this afternoon. Collies obviously had a bit of disruption, had a wet weather week and a bye, and then had a loss to the rule last week. Helensburgh, 2 strong performances against Berkeley and Corrimal heading in. May come in just in a little bit better match fit shape. See how Collegians respond early on. Do you think that could be a fact this afternoon, Potsy?
Yeah, I think it will. I'm thinking the way the Helensburgh have made their way through to the final certainly works well. You're certainly looking for a lot of momentum and continuity coming in, and unfortunately Collies haven't received that so far. So I think the upper hand at the moment would lean towards the Helensburgh Tigers.
As that's Jerd, tackled 5 in from touch. Zonda Chard, big rawbone front row, been very good for them this season. He takes it over the 45. Lestrange at dummy half. On to Bowles, good defence there. Stuart Mills, big inclusion this afternoon for Helensburgh. Leg heavily strapped, may not be quite 100%, but a player of his calibre, you have to think, even at 80%, is someone you'd put in an elimination semi-final. As Lestrange pops out from dummy half. Bowles met there by Benny Ryan. Lestrange comes right. On to Burke. Burke got a bit of an early shower last week. I'm sure he'll be keen to make an impression over the full 80 minutes this week. Lestrange finds Jerd. Jerd, long ball to Phillips. Phillips with the grubber. Not usually his bread and butter. It wasn't too bad, but collected there by Bremner. Interesting afternoon for Phillips. Obviously lifted the trophy with Helensburgh last season. Looking to tear up that script here this afternoon as we see a penalty for Helensburgh. First one there will be McRae looking for the touch finder. This is McCallum. Obviously in a day they have had a few injury worries and an up and down season. It is a day that Ryan Powell will probably be looking to his veterans, Potsy.
Yeah, Steve McCallum, otherwise known as Hightower up there in Helensburgh. He's a big leader of this team and certainly can produce a nice offload at the line as well. So I'm looking for Steve McCallum really to lead these charges forward here this afternoon for the Helensburgh Tigers.
Yeah, certainly been there through thick and thin, has McCallum. This is Mills just over halfway. They come blindside to Smith. He finds Salamalakis back up the middle. Another good set from Helensburgh. Not trying too much. Looks like they're trying to complete their sets here this afternoon. Neat little kick there from Smith. Will test Higgins. He'll collect that just shy of his line. And another good set there from Helensburgh. Another kick there from Smith. Making the Dogs bring it out from their own line. This is Jaeger in off the left wing. Erafamo onto Davis. Finds no layer. Hard going out of their own end here for Collegians. Could throw a blanket over them at the minute. This is Erafamo. Back five putting the hand up for plenty of work here early on for the Dogs. Chard finally a forward, puts his hand up, and a good shot there from Mills. Chard wore it well though. Lestrange will put the kick down from inside his own 40. Bremner goes back. Loses his footing there. Certainly don't want to put the ball away. Bremner on the full, one of the best kick-returning fullbacks in country rugby league, Potsy.
Yeah, he certainly is and can create a lot of momentum from the back, is Wayne Bremner. It certainly helps when you've got a fullback of his calibre that can get that set started real early, get some momentum for him so the forwards can build off that. So it was a great start there by the Helensburgh Tigers. They're completing their sets nicely so far and really working through this middle part of the field.
Yeah, outstanding back 3-4, Helensburgh. Obviously, Azan Taroa, the try-scoring freak on this left side. They go there to Maslanka. Met well there in the tackle of Burke. Burke, of course, was part of the Helensburgh side last year as well. Missed the final series with injury. Be looking to peg one back there as Higgins again fields the bouncing ball. Burke in a dummy half, finds Davis. Davis, handy finisher, been in both the Cronulla and South Sydney systems in recent years. Back here for Collegians this season, been very good on this right flank as Cassidy. Good charging run there, takes it up towards halfway. Lestrange onto Burke, finds Jerd Phillips. Phillips will play 80 minutes, you would think, this afternoon and be very much a go-to man for the Dogs.
Yeah, the Maltese international, Blake Phillips, he's certainly a workhorse here for Collegians. And as we saw last year with the Helensburgh Tigers, got through a mountain of work to help them get through to their premiership and won't be expecting anything less from the big fella here today.
There's a nice bat back there from Erafamo onto Davis. He'll kick, charged down there by Taroa. He'll look to counter. And not quite the end of the set there Nathan Feehan would have been looking for. Oh, good shot there. I think it was Bowles underneath. Great shot. Plenty of intent in that tackle was Bremner from dummy half. Good carry from Bremner. Maslanka from dummy half. He takes it up 30 metres out, the Tigers. McRae onto Smith. Goes by the nickname the Warrior up there. He is the reigning Paul McGregor medalist, playing a little bit out of position in 5'8". Obviously wore the 9 last year, but the type of player that will do a job required. As Nolea fields that kick. Could we set another good set? They're getting through their sets here well, Potsy.
Yeah, doing really well there, and we see a penalty there from referee Marcus Janet for the markers not being square there, and certainly letting off a little bit of pressure there, the Helensburgh Tigers giving that penalty away. But, mate, as you mentioned, they've done really well in the opening part here, the Tigers. They're getting a little bit of momentum up through the middle there. The boys are being able to play off that a little bit, and certainly asking a few questions there of the Collegians team.
Certainly, I'm sure that would have been on Ryan Powell's tip sheet. Very clever coach, Ryan Powell. I'm sure he would have come with a very specific game plan for Collies, perhaps taking into account the lack of football they have had over the past month and trying to work them over early as Nolea takes it up over halfway. Lestrange at dummy half again. He'll find Chard. Pretty one out here early on from the Dogs. Lestrange pops out onto Burke. Burke goes off his right foot. He's into space, looking for support. Can't find a tackle there by Bremner. Still going. I think he might have got all the way there, Daniel Burke. Well, just mentioning it looked a little bit one out there from the Dogs, but Daniel Burke sold him the big dummy and went across there, Potsy.
Yeah, and it all come from the nice work there of Heath Lestrange from dummy half. He's jumped out from dummy half, trying to engage the markers and the first defender. He's played out the back to Burke, and Burke's done a terrific job there to cross the white stripe and get the opening points here this afternoon for the Collie Dogs.
Yeah, very good effort there from Burke at the end. Had Zahn Taroa and Wayne Bremner to deal with, no defensive slouches there. But was strong enough to get there. Heath Lestrange, very good in that play. He has battled a bit of a hamstring injury since it was the game against Helensburgh in round 11 where the Tigers got the nod there. Came back last week, looked a little bit hampered by it, but certainly running freely here this afternoon.
Yeah, and it just shows the experience of the man too, having played so many games at the NRL level, 94 games at the NRL and 99 in Super League. He's been around young Heath Lestrange, but certainly doing a really good job here for Nathan Feen and Collegians.
Just gets the Dogs rolling forward, Lestrange. They're not the biggest forward pack going around, so any sort of help he can give them in the ruck really does get them going forward. It'll be Burke to attempt the conversion of his own try. Taking his time with it. Moves in. Not a bad strike, and he slot it straight through the post. So an early 6-0 lead for the Dogs.
Daniel Burke converts his own try. 13 minutes remaining in the 2016 minus.
10 minutes gone. It could be said that's a little bit against the run of play, Potsy.
Yeah, it was. It just seemed to be all of Helensburgh in the early part of this match, rolling through nicely, getting a nice kick away down into the bottom left-hand corner here at Collegians to make Collies work out of the area. But again, we just saw the wonderful experience there of Heath Lestrange just to create something really from nothing and get the first points.
They'll look to put a good set on the end of it. Watching a lot of the Dogs this year, it has been their Achilles heel at time to score points and then turn the ball over from the next set. As Phillips brings it up towards the 40. Plays it to Lestrange. Plays out the back to Burke. Cassidy. Good run from Cassidy. He's running with interest here this afternoon. This is Wood. He'll take it to the 40. Bit of a spring in their step all of a sudden, the Dogs. Done a fair bit of defensive work at their own end. Making the most of it with the footy now is Chard. He's got the arm free. Gets the offload to Lestrange. Lestrange will take the tackle and will go back for a penalty. Interesting decision. They haven't had much footy. It's very kickable for Burke. What do you think would be the right move here, Potsy?
Yeah, well, it's really only the second time they've been down in this end Collegian, so it looks like there's a little bit of talk going on. They might be looking to take the two, and referee Marcus Jennett signals that way. So it was a penalty for a shoulder charge, and yeah, probably something you really don't want to be doing in your own end of the field, the Helensburgh Tigers, to give away penalties like that. You don't want to be giving cheap ball away to this Collegians team because they'll certainly make you pay, and this could be worth 2 points against them.
Yeah, certainly it is semi-final time. You do think points are gold, particularly early points. We're only 12 minutes in here. I think Nathan Feen was a quick decision to put the two fingers up. Not much breeze here, so very kickable for Burke. Will carry a lot of weight this afternoon, Daniel Burke. He usually wears the number 13 jumper and floats around the field, but with some big omissions for Collies, both Adam and Sam Clune not playing here this afternoon. A lot of the playmaking duties will fall on Burke, and he certainly got off to a good start. Will attempt this kick. Moves in, strikes it well. And there it is. So an 8-point lead after 30 minutes for the Dogs. Bit of a challenge for Helensburgh here. They have had most of the running early on, and after 13 minutes look up and find themselves 8 points down.
Yeah, but I really don't think it's too bad a spot for them. They show that they can make some metres up through the middle, the Helensburgh Tigers, and a nice little kicking game to go with it as well. They can certainly turn these Collegians forwards around, so really shouldn't be dropping their heads at this early stage of the game. They can certainly get the job done, and again, what they need to do is just really show some effort in line speed here in this first set, try and hold Collegians down in their own end.
As the kick goes down, fielded there by Davis, he'll bring it back. Held up there on the 20. Couple of back-to-back sets now for the Dogs. As Wood brings it forward, he's just shy of the 30. The stranger dummy half On the right to Burke. Dummies. Can't Salamalakis come across in cover there. He looked like he might have split them again there, Burke. Certainly thinking run first pass second this afternoon. This is Chard. Heavily involved early on, Andrew Chard. Nathan Flynn will be very pleased with the first stint from his big front rower. As Jerd goes left, brings Phillips back underneath. Loves running that line, Phillips. Catch out some tied defenders back on the inside. Don't quite shut the gate. He can make you pay. Lestrange, he's out, throws that ball out to no one. It'll be Higgins to pick up the scraps. Grubbers for himself. Not a bad one, but Bremner well collected there, and he'll bring it back. Breaks another tackle. Eventually held there 25 metres out from his own line. This is Taroa. Met there in the tackle of Bowles and Chard. Bit of a shift here from Helensburgh. Held up there just metres in from touch. It's on to McRae. Salamalakis had to reach backwards for that one. He's on halfway. Still a tackle to burn here for the Tigers. Out the back for Bremner. Beats one tackle, beats two. Now he's into space. And he's thrown it away to Davis. He might have got a sneaky call there from Davis. Some brilliant work there from Bremner. Didn't look there was too much doing, but he can create something from nothing.
Yeah, exactly as you mentioned earlier there, Mitchell. It was Wayne Bremner. He certainly can do some work in broken play, and he made a nice little break there. And as you mentioned, I think he may have got that sneaky call there from the Collegians winger calling for the ball, and he actually really didn't do himself many favours either with a bit of a no-look pass as well. So one that's got away there for Bremner, and I guess a little glimpse of what Helensburgh can do if they want to shift the ball wide.
Yes, he was probably looking for Taroa, who's always looming up in support. Can sniff out a try. Just found the wrong man there as Phillips. In behind the ruck, good run. Benny Ryan doing the work underneath. Lestrange onto Jerd. Another kick finds the grass. He'll be hoping that one holds up for him. It may do so. Oh, just rolls dead, so it'll be a 7-tackle set for Helensburgh. It was a very good kick there from Jerd. Probably just that little bit too big. Allowing Taroa to shadow it across the dead ball line. But Helensburgh looking a bit weary, a few hands on hips here. As we get things back underway, this is Mills. As we mentioned, has been a bit hampered by injury, but a class player.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he's had a bit of a career up in the NRL as well, young Stuart Mills. He's done well, and back here now with the Helensburgh Tigers. So I've seen some of the work that he did during that grand final up there at Kirkham Park in Camden, playing for the Illawarra representative team, and he gets some nice little touches, some good work on the edges as well. He can ask a few questions of the defence as well, Stuart Mills. So look forward to seeing his input here this afternoon.
No, he was very happy to pull on the Tigers' colours, obviously a product from up there. He's back here. They go to Mills. Stops, starts and goes again. Gets a neat little offload out the back. This is Galately. I think he'll tuck it under, as he does on most occasions. Smith out to McRae. Bit of space here for the Tigers. Some early ball. On to Allen. Allen, not a bad kick, and Higgins has to made to work to clean that one up there. He'll be held up centimetres from his own try line. So not a repeat set, but that's certainly the way Helensburgh can get back into this game.
Yeah, it was, and now we've seen some defensive pressure there from the Tigers has forced an error. A Collegians knock on, and now a really good opportunity now for Helensburgh to set themselves up just 10 metres out from the Collegians line and try and put something on here.
Of course, was the last tackle. Good awareness there from Allen. Knew it was the last, just put it on the toe. Bit of a revelation out there. Allen Helensburgh played a lot of reserve grade and has really made a fine fist of first grade since earning a call up. As we know, Ryan Powell does have a habit of turning a few rocks into diamonds. It's the way they like to do it up there at Helensburgh. This is Bremner. Held there in the tackle of Burke and Erafamo. They go left again. Maslanka a bit of space. He'll go there and he'll cross. And there is the hit back from the Tigers. Collies made to pay for a mistake just short of their line. Maslanka, the type of centre you do like to just get him some early ball and let him work.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happened there. Maslanka's got some nice early ball. It wasn't really much doing there for the Tigers. It was just a case of putting it through the hands, and Maslanka, trying to take on the defence, has come up with success and crossed for 4 points and gets the Helensburgh Tigers on the board for their first one here this afternoon.
Yeah, always a handful, Maslanka on this left edge. Bit of a concern here for the Tigers. It looks like Bremner coming to the sideline. It may just be for a chat with Ryan Powell. Looks that way. Tough kick here for Smith. He is right on the chalk on this left-hand side. As we mentioned, though, not too much breeze. Certainly kickable by a kicker of his calibre. Mason Pure with the interchange card there on the side. I'm looking to come into the field as that one's waved away. Wasn't a bad strike, but just hooked to the left a little bit. And Mason Pure is coming onto the field. I call him the Sam Cassiano of the Illawarra Coal League. Always comes on and sort of turns things around for Collegians. A big, strong body, can sort of play in the back row or out on the edge, a natural footballer. 8 pace to 4, 20 minutes to go. Probably a fair indication of the way this game's gone.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's hasn't been really any team put their hand up to say we're gonna take this on and we're gonna run with it. It's sort of just testing each other out really at the moment, I think, and seeing who'll crack first. And here we go with another penalty from referee Jennett again. Another shoulder charge penalty to the Helensburgh Tigers, and really helps out the Helensburgh Tigers coming out from their own end. It's tough work to come in from a kick-off, and you always want to complete after points, and that's a nice handy little penalty there for the Tigers.
Ball goes on. This is Galately. And they're into space here, the Tigers. Neat little offload there. Does possess that in his arsenal, Galately. Just giving Mason Pure a rap for what he provides from the bench. Galately certainly in that category for the Tigers as he puts his hand up for another charge. Brings it up to the 20, so a good set after points here from the Tigers. McRae comes left. Mills will settle. Tackled there by Burke. They'll go to the right with Salamalakis. Coming back to Smith. This is Galately again. Was looking for support. Dumped on his head there. Marcus Shennett may be playing an advantage on that one with the ball dropping out the back. Certainly put the whistle towards the mouth there. And he will hold things up and have a look. Probably accidental, but certainly in a tackle you don't like to see.
No, definitely not. That's a really bad-looking tackle there. Being put on by the Collegians team, and certainly a lot of time being spent there looking after the injured player. And yeah, as you mentioned, definitely totally accidental, but something that we don't want to see in our game, and be interested to see how referee Jennett deals with this.
Yeah, Galately is the man. We were just mentioning what a factor he'd been in that set for the Tigers. Helensburgh staff will take their time as they should. Hopefully nothing too serious here for Galately. Helensburgh certainly roared back into this one. Slows the momentum just a tad, but of course you do like to see the proper concern for the player, and he's up. Lestrange called out. Looks like it was Liam Cassidy who made that tackle. So that one goes on report. And of course, with a potential preliminary final next week, that will be a concerning one for Collegians and coach Nathan Feen. Liam Cassidy is a key man for them over on this right edge. There's Benny Ryan. He's got the 12 on his back today. Typically plays in the centres, but pound for pound, one of the toughest players you'll see in this league. He's got the back row number on his back. Making a fist of it there. And there it is, the old commentator's curse, Potsy.
You haven't missed him there. It's let's force the knock on from the commentary box, that one. But look, Helensburgh, they certainly got some help back up through the field through 2 penalties after scoring points, and now release a little bit of the pressure with a knock on there. But they've done well so far, the Tigers. They're hanging in there, coming into the game. Collegians, being the strong club that they are, probably coming in with a little bit of, I guess, ascendancy, being that stronger club of the two. But Helensburgh certainly going with them in this early part of the game, and looking forward to seeing how this one now plays out.
That's Erifamo with the ball. Matt Tilley met there in a good tackle. Was outstanding last week, Matt Tilley, for the Dogs. Scored a brilliant individual try that really turned the game around when they were down to 11 men. This is Phillips, tackled by 3 men there. He's just shy of the 30 as Lestrange finds Burke. Burke dummies again. Sure, after the first try, the message did go out to not fall for any dummies from Burke. Obviously played with Coach Ryan Powell at Shell Harbour and at Helensburgh. This goes back to Jerd. That's a nice kick, finds the grass again. Bouncing ball there for Allen. He'll bring it back. He'll try to get it back towards the middle of the field. Good chase there from Jerd on his own kick. A couple of nice kicks from Jerd this afternoon. As we mentioned, Daniel Burke last week given a bit of an early shower. Possible silver lining was that Jerd had to take control of this side, and he did well. Nearly produced a couple of match-winning tries there. As Maslanka comes out from dummy half. He's up towards the 40. As they go right to McRae. Pass didn't find the intended receiver. Allen will go back and pick up the scraps. So a bit messy there from the Tigers. Allen crabbing his way back in. He's held there by Tilley. He might have spilt that, and he has. So lucky bit of direction at the end there of that set.
Yeah, got a little bit lost in their ways there, the Tigers. Not much direction there, and it was the winger coming through there trying to make something with it, and comes up with the error, and spotted nicely there by touch judge Michael Ford on this side of the field, helping referee Jennett with the pick-up of the knock-on. So here we go now, Collegians, loose head and feed. Really good opportunity now for them to strike back after Helensburgh last scoring points, and it's Lestrange from the back of the scrum.
Yeah, great opportunity for Collegians as they do lead 8-4. Still haven't had a whole lot of opportunities down this end. It's mostly been played at their own end. As Tilley met there in a good tackle from Ryan. Galately also involved to finish that one off. Be a slow play the ball on the 40. Wood on his own. Pinches a couple of extra metres there, takes it up towards the 30. Lestrange jumps out, finds Burke. Burke out the back to Higgins. Higgins into a bit of space, breaks one tackle. Maslanka comes again and does the job as we see Cassidy onto Burke. This is Tilley. Cansel Malakis wraps him up. Can't get him to ground, still crabbing a few metres forward there, Tilley. Last tackle. Onto Jerd. Neat little kick there. He's got the chase there from Pure, but Allen will go back. Beats one tackle. Will be held in his own end. So a nice end of the set there from Collies.
Yeah, great finish there from Collies. Nice little deft kick into the in-goal as well to force the goal line dropout. And this is the sort of pressure that you want to try and start building when you get to visit this end of the field. Collegians now, hopefully to field this from the dropout and put Helensburgh back on their heels.
Tigers sucking in the big ones there. In the end goal, it'll be McRae who will send this one down onto Burke. Burke looks for Wood, lumbering back in off the halfway line. Met there by Mills, spins out of one tackle. Will be held there on the 30. Lestrange onto Tilley. He's made his way up towards the 20. Jerd straightens things, dummies. Wrapped up there by Ryan and Smith. Lestrange again. Good work there at marker from the Tigers, but he's got the offload away to Higgins. Higgins, he's a metre short. Dogs looking to turn it on as there's Mason Pure. He spins. Might have got that ball down. And he has. Well, I was just rapping him earlier on for the impact he brings from the bench, and a good try there.
Yeah, that's a great try there from Collegians on the crash play. Heath Lestrange again from dummy half. Sending Mason Pure over the line on the crash play. But yeah, as you mentioned before, he's very similar to the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs with the way they play and bringing that impact player on at 20 minutes. And that's exactly the move that Coach Nathan Fiend's pulled here this afternoon. He's sent Pure out there at 20 minutes, and he's certainly done the job by scoring 4 points from his team there.
Yeah, I've got to say the Dogs have been playing very direct here this afternoon. If you look at the two sides, it's probably what they have done a little bit better. Obviously, Burke with the dummy in the run earlier on. Young Luke Jerd also doing a good job. He straightened things up well there. Quick play the ball for Pure to barge his way over. So see a bit of a mini conference here between referee Marcus Jennings called out Grant Smith. And it looks like Benny Ryan, the man, getting some sort of caution here. So a bit of a caution on the run. Burke will attempt this kick. Looking for a 10-point lead. Still 12 minutes to go here before half-time. They might have got a sniff of blood in the nostril here, the Dogs. It's a big 12 minutes for Helensburgh to try to really hold their ground here. Done a lot of quality work in this half, but find themselves behind. Time back on as Burke moves in. And a nice kick. The flags go up. So 14-4, 12 minutes remaining in this half. Collies with the foot slightly on the throat here. They'll be looking to keep it there into the main break. As McRae with the ball on the tee to get things back underway. Need a big set here, the Tigers. As Davis fields that one again, he brings it back. Held up there on the 20. Wood. He'll take it over the 30. Sure, the direction did come out from Nathan Fiend. Must get to a kick on this set and make the Tigers, who are slightly under the pump, bring it out from their own end. This is Burke. Dummies again. Certainly doesn't mind taking the odd tackle, Burke. As we mentioned, he does play a lot in the forwards. As this is Phillips, and a good shot there. Grant Smith on his premiership-winning teammate, Blake Phillips. He didn't miss him.
Well, Smithy certainly didn't miss young Blake Phillips there. It was a great shot. It was again Lestrange coming out of dummy half, sending Phillips to the line, and it was a big shot. Well, here it is now. Berg picking up a loose ball now. Opportunity to come out of their own end. But look, I've been really impressed with the two halves in Jerd and Burke. They've certainly kicking game's been excellent. They've they mixed it up a little bit. We've seen some nice little kicks into the corners. We've seen kicks into the in-goal for goal line dropouts, and here we see Helensburgh unfortunately coming with a knock on early in the tackle count. Right on halfway, but look, the two halves of Collies have been impressive. I've liked what they've done so far. They go to the line, they kick well, and certainly doing the job here for Nathan Fiend this afternoon.
Yeah, certainly probably has been the difference in this first half, the long kicking game of the Dogs. Obviously, the Helensburgh Tigers started off that way, a few neat kicks early on, but it swung back towards the home side here this afternoon. They go blindside to Nolea. He'll be held there on the 40. This is Pure. Galately came out of the line there. Neat little step there from Pure to miss that one. He'll be held there on the 30. Lestrange jumping out again. Runs the ball, slips through. Smith comes again. They go left, a little bit short on this side, the Tigers. This is Higham. Higham 5 metres out. Good quick play, the ball. Tilly there, and he's spilt the ball. Might have gone backwards. So a bit of a messy end to the set there from Collies. It is the last. They'll go to Burke. Rolls that one through. Taroa back there to do the clean-up work, but he'll be held inside his in-goal as well. So that's the second repeat set they've forced off the boot this afternoon. 9 minutes left. Big set needed here from the Tigers.
Yeah, leading into half-time. We're now just under 10 minutes to go till half-time, and Helensburgh Tigers now 10 points down. Really need to do some work to get out of their own end. But look, the Collie Dogs really building some great pressure here. And again, it was Burke with a wonderful kick into the in-goal to force the repeat set, to force another goal line dropout. But I was also impressed with the momentum created in that set as well. All of the guys that made runs, found their fronts, got the quick play the ball away to get themselves down in this good ball end of the field.
Indeed they did as Burke fields this dropout. This will be Higham. Winds up, ends up on the 30. And he might have spilt that. And a call from the touchy there. They'll say there was a hand on that. Steve McCallum certainly doesn't agree if looks could kill. Fortunately for Marcus Jennett, they can't. But he copped a few daggers there. And they'll tap and go. Keep the pressure on. There was a chance to go to the 12-point lead there, but I think Coach Nathan Fiend feels he has them on the ropes a little bit. Lestrange pops out. Flat ball for Jerd. Jerd fends away from 1, fends away from 2 and 3, and he scores. Well, Potsy were just wrapping the Collies halves. Been playing very direct. Have certainly taken the line on this afternoon, and there it is there.
Yes, it's exactly what we've just seen. Luke Jerd scoring 4 points here for Collegians. And again, Heath Lestrange doing some great work out of dummy half as well to create that and find the space to put Jerd away and score. And now Helensburgh really going into a big committee meeting now behind the posts. They've got a lot of work to do now leading into the half-time. Down now currently 18 points to 4.
Yeah, again, off another mistake there. Helensburgh made a mistake inside their own half, made to pay. Could be said in recent years, Collies have done a bit of a Helensburgh on Helensburgh. That's usually their bread and butter, mistake-free footy and grinding out a performance, but they're doing a good job of it here this afternoon, the Dogs. Burke will attempt the conversion. Certainly vindicated in their move not to go for the 2 points there. Quick tapping on, they went with it, and they find the try. Could probably put that down to the repeat set forced off the boot of Burke a couple of plays earlier. On both occasions now, forced line dropout. Collies have produced points on the back of them. Burke takes his time with the kick. Strikes it. Only hit the upright there, so that's waved away. So the score remains 18-4, 6 minutes to play. Still time for Collies to mount another attack, if good enough. Very fierce opening 20 minutes, but it's certainly been the home side for the back end of this half. It'll be all Helensburgh can do to hold out here until the break. As the kick goes up, fielded by Cassidy. He's met there by Smith and McCallum. The two veterans doing the job there for the Tigers. Tilly. Held there by Galately. Burke puts his hand up for a hit. Hit hard there by Galately. They cut out ball here for Jerd. This is Phillips. Traditionally, this is where he's super dangerous, Phillips. He always senses when a bit of sting has come out of the game. And will put his hand up for a carry against some tied defenders. Plays the ball there. This will be Higham. Tackled there by McCallum. They go to Jerd. Another good kick in behind them. Bremner may have to play at this one. No, he'll watch it go dead in goal. Not a bad kick there either. Only just went dead. It's been a feature of the Dogs game this afternoon, as we have touched on. As Taroa with the 20-metre tap. Good run. You have to think it'll be the back five, have to get heavily involved here for the Tigers. Done a lot of defensive work in the last 10 minutes or so. McRae pokes his head through a dummy half onto Mills. He's held there in the 40. The Tigers looking to hit back before the break. Smith onto Ryan. He takes it over the 30. Slowish play the ball. McRae onto Galately, not quite at full pace, but he goes off his left foot, finds his front. Been very good since coming on in the second half. Has Galately. They go back to him now. He's not the man you want on the last tackle. And a great tackle there from Pure. Sorry, it is the last tackle now. As they'll kick back towards the post. Don't know how many of the Tigers players knew that one was on there. The kick was looking for Bremner, but Burke fields it. As Erifamo brings it out. Davis onto Norleya. Held there by McRae. Lestrange takes a couple of steps. Can't find the intended receiver with the pass there. Burke cleans up the scraps. He'll settle in the middle of the field. This is Higham. He'll take it over the 30. Last tackle. They'll look to Jerd again for the kick. No, Lestrange produces it from inside his own 40. Finds Terrell on the full. I may be wrong, but I believe that's the first time this afternoon where they haven't found the ground. Been very good kicking this afternoon as Terrell drops that one out the back to Bremner. Beats one tackle. Flicks that one out the back. Bit of enterprise here from the Tigers. They're not going to die wondering. Scotty Allen on halfway. McCallum takes it up towards the 40. As they come back left for Galately. Good run from Galately again. Finds his front. Quick play the ball. On to Smith. Ryan out the back for McRae. This is Safali. Held there 5 metres in from touch. McRae. Flat ball for McCallum. That is the last. They may look to Taroa here on this left flank. No, they go right. Roll that one through. And Lee Higgins has no choice but to bat that one dead. So take a bit of a leaf out of the Collegians book here now, the Tigers.
Yeah, they certainly are, and that's the right idea. That's exactly what they needed to do. Come down this end and try and build a little bit of pressure. They haven't had too many visits down here recently, the Tigers, so it's nice for them to get back down here, build some pressure, go for the repeat set. The set before they completed was only just off the Collegians goal line, and this time it's now a kick that's gone back into the in-goal to force the goal line drop out. Now under close to a minute and a half now left of this first half, and I'm sure the Tigers will be desperate to try and score right on half-time so they can go in with, I guess, a shorter deficit than currently what they're under at the moment. So here we go now, Collegians taking the goal line drop out.
Yeah, cool heads there from McRae. I had mentioned I thought they might go for the high ball over for Taroa, but that's obviously a hard kick to get right. They went the high percentage play and earned a repeat set. Galately pushing his way forward again, 20 metres out. Smith onto McCallum. Nice ball there for Bremner. Bremner goes for Higgins. He beats him on the inside. It's Lordua. Well, what beautiful deft touch there from Steve McCallum, the front rower. You won't see him pass the ball very often. Likes to tuck it under and earn his metres the hard way. But a beautiful work play there and a great line from Bremner, and found the support on the inside.
That was a great team try there, and we won't miss what McCallum was able to do there as well. He's gone to the line and able to spin at the line. He's found Bremner finding a nice little line to get the gap, and then he's turned it back inside for Big Joe, and he's gone over for the try. And looking for those points that we just mentioned earlier, the Tigers really needed going into the halftime break. With a kick right in front, they look to be going into the halftime break just 8 points down.
It is really classic Helensburgh. We were just talking that they looked a little bit under the pump, looked on the ropes, perhaps a little bit right for the picking before halftime, and here they are. They've come back and produced to try to cut the deficit. as the clock winds down. Smith will slot that one from in front. And it'll be an 8-point ball game at the half. Probably a fair indication of what we did see.
The two teams go to the dressing rooms with Collegians leading Helensburgh 18 points to 8.
As they go into the sheds, good half of football, probably a fair indication of what we've seen in this second half. Collies slightly in front. What do you think Helensburgh do need to do to overturn this deficit in the second half, Potsy?
Yeah, well, I think just exactly what they've done just now. They've come down the other end. They've been able to force a little bit of pressure down here. They've gone off the back of two good kicks, one just short of the goal line and one that's gone in goal to force the repeat set for a goal line dropout. So I think if they can do the same in the second half, build a little bit of pressure off the back of some good kicks, the Tigers are well and truly in this one.
We'll see if they can do it in the second half. We'll be back here at Collegians Sports Centre in just a little while.
To get themselves...
Is your smile holding you back? See the orthodontic specialists at Smile Team and discover how Invisalign could help you achieve the smile you've always wanted. Want to know more? Invisalign, the almost invisible teeth straightening aligners that will help you to create a winning smile. Contact Smile Team Orthodontics today to arrange your Invisalign assessment. Smile Team Orthodontics, 100% pure orthodontics.
Come on into Collegians. Factory specialises in ribs, dry-aged steak and wood-fired pizzas, sourcing quality ingredients from the local area. So, see you at Collegians.
As both sides make their way back onto the field. For one, it will be the final 40 minutes of the season. An 8-point lead for Collies, 18-10, but still very much anyone's game.
We go to the second stanza with Collies leading Helensburgh 18 points to 10. The winner of today's minor semi-final will play the loser of tomorrow's major final. That's between
McRae with the ball on the tee. He'll get us back underway.
Saturday. Get ready.
Certainly has the makings of one that could go down to the wire, Potsy.
Yeah, it certainly will. It was an interesting first half, and look, as we mentioned during half-time off air, that we really think Collies need to come out here and really take it to the Berg right now. I don't think they want to have Helensburgh hanging around going the distance with them, because Helensburgh could actually come back to bite them later on in the game. So we're really looking to see Collies assert some authority here in the early part of the second half and try and take the game away from the Helensburgh Tigers.
Yeah, indeed, even with a few players that have moved on. Still a good half dozen players who hoisted the Premiership trophy last year and have played 3 of the last 4 grand finals, so they know how to get it done at finals time, do the Tigers. As Phillips appealing for a penalty there, won't get it. Tilly takes it over the 40, 5 metres short of halfway. Last tackle, they'll go to Jerd again. Rolls that one through Allen. Good pick up there of the bouncing ball. Good tackle there from Jaeger and Norlea making that one. As Bremner takes it up to the 30. McRae at dummy half. And up there, Mills. Good run from Mills, finds his front. As Smith goes blindside. Breaking through a few more tackles. He's almost on halfway. McCallum will go over there and more. Takes it over the 40. Good run from the veteran front rower. Plays the ball back to McRae. Neat little kick over the top. He'll be wanting that to pull up, and it will. Higgins will have to bring it back. And he'll be held there just 2 minutes. So a good set to start the half there for Helensburgh.
Yeah, great set for the Berg Tigers. A little bit of momentum in through that middle third, through their forwards. Smith making a nice little run down the blind side, and it was McRae from dummy half putting in a nice little kick to the corner and just looking to build that pressure that we spoke of just before the halftime break.
Yeah, both the McRae boys very adept off the boot. As we see Tilly spill the ball there, been very good since being injected midway through the first half, but he has a moment to forget there. And an early opportunity here for the Tigers. As mentioned earlier on, they have turned a bit of ball over in their own half at various stages of the season. Can add another one there. Lined out both sides of the scrum here, the Tigers. Keeping the Dogs' defence guessing. They go left. It'll be Taroa. Don't want to give him too much room to move. Can slip a tackle. He's pulled up short there, just 5 metres from the try line. McRae dummies. He'll be made to play at 5 metres out. Ball on there for McRae. Flat ball there for Ryan. He's held there, still 5 metres out. McRae, flat ball for McCallum. Have seen McCallum score some tries in exactly that fashion over the past couple of seasons. He's made to play it there. Long ball out. Safale will play it there. McRae, kick up towards Taroa. And he's plucked it out of the air and he'll score. Oh, he spilt the ball. Unbelievable. We mentioned in the first half how lethal Taroa can be in the air. Certainly the best fielder of the high ball in the Illawarra Coal League. He did a great job to pull that kick down and he spilled his lollies trying to ground that one.
Yes, he'd done all the hard work. It was a great kick from the other young McRae. It was Mitch McRae this time, the 7. His nice crossfield kick to the corner. It's up into the sun for Collies to take a difficult catch, and it was Taroa climbing above the pack, taking a great AFL-style take, but just couldn't ground the ball on the other side of the chalk. And unfortunately, it gives the Collegians team a 7-tackle set coming out from their own end, and the Berg working hard to defend that now.
Yeah, he almost reached out there. I'm not sure he needed to. I think he would have ended up in the end goal as it was. You chalked that one up to the Collies. They still tried to make the tackle there late and forced the error. Burke. Dummies met there. Drops it out the back to Cassidy. Loses his footing. He'll be held there by Galately. Slow play the ball for Cassidy. On to Bowles. 25 metres out last tackle. They go blindside. Lestrange rolls this one there. Almost beat Bremner, but Bremner good enough to collect it. As Taroa perhaps looking to make up for his mistake. Brings it out there and the offload to McRae. And they'll give the ball some air. Ryan, bit of space. Breaks through one tackle, still going. As we mentioned, good game this afternoon in the back row for Ryan. He is undersized for a back rower as Pure. That tackle sneaks up just a little. And McRae will attempt a touch finder. And the Tigers a chance to build some more pressure here.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they're the team that's come out from the sheds at half-time doing the job. We spoke about what Collies needed to do to try and take the game away from the Tigers, but it's actually the Helensburgh team that are doing the exact thing that needs to be done. They're really taking this game to Collegians here at the moment. They're forcing a lot of pressure on the team, getting great play the balls away, just like what we've just seen now, and now they're within 5 metres of the Collegians goal line.
They'll come blindside. McRae straightens things up for Bremner. Bremner, very much a go-to man for the Tigers this afternoon. Can make things happen as we saw earlier on as McRae drops that one back from McCallum. McCallum, he'll pitch another couple of metres. 5th tackle. Wonder if they will go to Taroa again on that side. Looks like they will. The kick goes up. And why wouldn't you, the way he pulled down the last one? The bat back there from Davis on this occasion. Burke picks up the scraps there just short of the 10. Twice they've gone there and one thinks it may not be the last time they go there, as you saw how well he pulled that other one down there. Taroa as Collegians will receive a relieving penalty there. That'll be a frustrating one from Ryan Power. Tigers did sort of have them on the rack, working the ball out from their own end. Plenty of purpose from the Tigers coming out for this second half. As Jerd puts that one over the touchline. Lestrange with the tap. Onto Burke. Finds Phillips. Phillips, he's just over the 30. They right to Burke. On to Cassidy. He's held there just shy of halfway. Burke crabs his way across the field. Out the back there for Jerd. Jerd dummies. Held there in the tackle of Galately. They go back towards the middle. Galately and Smith doing the defensive job there for the Tigers. Come blind to Jerd. He may go for the early kick. He will. Rolls that in behind Bremner. Goes back to field it. Good return for Bremner. We mentioned his prowess on kick return earlier on in this clash. Pinches another couple of metres there. While we can, might just give a shout out to Wayne Bremner's wife, Sam, of course, dubbed the Billy Slater of Rugby League, will be playing for the Cronulla Sharks against the St George Illawarra Dragons in the first NRL Women's Nines game this evening. A couple of other Helensburgh Tiger Lilies also involved. Alana Ferguson, Ruan Sims, Maddie Studden, and of course Kezi Apps. Another one of our Gillaroos will be representing the Dragons, so don't miss that clash. It will be live streamed on the Cronulla's website as we see a relieving penalty here for the Tigers.
Yeah, as you just mentioned, Mitch, that's a wonderful advertisement as well for the local competition here in the Illawarra, the Women in Defence Rugby League competition. We've just had so many girls come from that competition to go on to some really big things in Rugby League, and obviously from what we've seen during the week as well through the press of New South Wales Rugby League looking to host a junior reps competition with an under-18s women's team as well. It's certainly growing that part of our sport, the women's game. But anyway, we're back here now at Collies and Helensburgh, now on the attack.
Ryan pulled down just short. They go to Allen. Stops back, gets the offload to McCallum. McCallum dummies to no one. Throws that ball out the back to McRae. Deft feet there to get past Lestrange. Dummies. Brings it back to the 10. Numbers to the left here for the Tigers. If they go there, they will. This is Lavuta, goes back on the inside to Allen. Allen beats one tackle. He's pulled up 5 metres short. They'll come blind to McRae. And the kick, as we said, it might go out there to Taroa again. He's but that one backwards. I think that's a try for the Tigers. Maslanka will get his second. And Potsy, if it's working, why not keep going?
Exactly right, and third time's a charm for the Helensburgh Tigers here this afternoon. Putting on the same play again as we mentioned, kicking back into the sun, making it difficult for the Collegians catchers out there to take the ball. But it was Simon Maslanka coming up trumps there, climbing above the pack, pulling that one down and making no mistake about grounding it in the in goal. And Helensburgh, after a lot of pressure and a lot of time down that end of the field, finally come up with 4 points. And Collegians, obviously you can get a lot of confidence from line defence, but they've finally cracked. And Helensburgh should be really buzzing after that effort.
Smith will attempt the conversion to make it a 2-point ball game. Got to wrap Mitch McRae. I'll tell you what, 3 kicks all landed on a dime there. I have to think they practiced that up at Rex Jackson Oval through the week. When you've got a weapon like Azan Tarara out on that left edge, why not go back to it? With Smith to attempt the conversion. Moves in, strikes it well, but it's waved away. And Smith, you'll have to think he might come back to rue that one. It was certainly very kickable. So the margin remains 4 points. Plenty of time here to be written in this one, 28 minutes to go, but it looks like Collies on the ropes here needing to respond.
Yeah, they certainly are. Helensburgh's come out all guns a-blazing from the halftime break. And they're certainly doing the job here so far this afternoon. Collegians really need to pin Helensburgh down here and try and keep them in their own end. But that's a great charge off the back fence there from the Helensburgh Tigers.
It was Salamalakis back on the field. As Mills takes the ball over the 30. And he might have spilt that, but the penalty goes up. They'll say he grabbed his arm, and well, when you have momentum with you, those 50-50 calls do tend to go your way. We'll see one there for the Tigers. And McRae puts that one over the far touchline. Don't envy the ball boys chasing that one. As McRae onto Mills. Tell you what, for someone who's supposedly not quite at 100%, been very effective this afternoon, Stuart Mills. Really putting his hand up for his side. They go to Smith. McCallum, the hit and the spin. He's held there by Chard and Lestrange. Salamalakis. Drops the ball at the back from McRae. He goes off his right foot. Another offload. Rolling ball picked up there by McRae. Mills dummies. He's up towards the 10. Put to ground heavily there in the end by Wood and Lestrange. Ball comes to McRae. McCallum will settle towards the post, 10 metres out. Slower play the ball than he would have wanted there. McRae, flat ball for Smith. Back on the inside for Salamalakis. He's gone close, and he's got the ball down, has he? He has. Great work there. Inside ball from Grant Smith. Very clever player, Grant Smith. They look to have numbers out to the left, saw the defence sliding that way, and looks back on the inside for the big man doing what he should and trailing up the middle.
Yeah, great four-pointer there for Khan Salamalakis, and it was a great ball too from dummy half. Nice and flat to Smith, who turns it back inside, and Salamalakis makes no mistake and scores right next to the upright. And you can't really ask for more after scoring points earlier. You want to try and complete your sets, but the boys have come back down the other end, the Helensburgh Tigers, and they've come away with 4 points and really taking it right up to the Collegians here this afternoon. And they've really got to do a little bit of soul-searching now, Collegians. They've been on their own goal line for a long time now. They've been camped down here for a while, Helensburgh, and they've come up with some points. So now all the work to do now for Collegians to try and fight back.
Indeed, it is a big task. I'll tell you what I've seen of Collegians this season, in particular what I saw last week when they were reduced to 11 men. Plenty of character in this side. They certainly won't turn things up. Very mentally tough side are Collegians. But it is up to them to answer here. Has been some momentum swings. This is perhaps the longest one we've seen for one side so far. It's been the full 16 minutes after half-time. As Lavuda fields that one. And Salamalakis, the try scorer, brings it back to the 20. This is Mills again. In fact, it's Bremner. Looking to go through the big men in the middle. Maslanka takes it up towards halfway. He'll be held just shy of it. Lavuda. This will be Stuart Mills who takes it over halfway. Smith on the inside for Ryan. Met there by Bowles. That'll be the last tackle. McRae out from dummy half. Looking to put that one in behind them, but Davis read it well. Finds Higgins. Jaeger in at dummy half. And you have to think the Dogs will look towards some of their outside men to do this hard work. Big men in the middle have done a lot of defensive work in the last 15 minutes or so, and Davis might have copped one on the chin here. We'll call a halt to play as they attend to Davis. And just see what decision does come out of it. Looks in fact like he's gesturing to a leg there, so he may have been twisted awkwardly in that one, Davis. So they call for the doctor, so a bit of concern here for Davis. Great young player, as we've mentioned, has picked up a few leg injuries in his time. He's a product of the mighty Foster Tuncurry Hawks up there on the mid-north coast. Obviously concern for Davis, but I don't think Collies will mind a bit of a stoppage here, Potsy. They've been under the pump for the last 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, unfortunate circumstances, but yeah, they're certainly looking to get some air back in and try and refuel as they're a little bit out of gas, but it was a bit of a funny tackle there. As soon as it was made, the Helensburgh guys threw their hands up to call for assistance and get referee Jennett to call time off. So obviously something was noticed by the players that something had happened straight away. And as we now see, Greg Davis is now clapped from the field with that leg injury, and unfortunate to finish that way for him. But on the positive side of things, as we said, Collegians now get an opportunity to try and refuel, regroup, and try and get back into this game with all the ascendancy now with the Helensburgh Tigers.
As Mason Pure coming onto the field in replacing Davis, we mentioned his versatility earlier on. I imagine he may go out into the centres with Erifomo to move out onto the flank. Cassidy gets us back underway. Chard makes his way up to the 40. Onto Jerd. Wood drops the ball at the back there to Higgins. Higgins met well there by Salamalakis. Bowles heads back in towards the ruck, pinches a couple of extra metres there. Lestrange goes right. Burke. Well, Burke's put that straight into the arms of Mills. He's running away. Higgins giving chase. Mills, as we mentioned, has been hampered by a leg injury and couldn't quite get there. Under normal circumstances, you'd back Mills, former NRL winger, to get there, but that knee heavily strapped, not quite at 100%. Good tackle there from Higgins. But a big play from Mills nonetheless. Salamalakis, he's 5 metres short. Tiger smelling blood in the water. Smith dummies. Still looking for support. Still going, and he's got there, Grant Smith. Great try there to Smith. Put that down to the long run there from Stuart Mills. As we mentioned earlier, nicknamed the Warrior, Grant Smith. He lived up to the name there, carrying a few defenders over the line.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. We can go all the way back to the poor kick by Burke. It was snatched by Stuart Mills, and poor Stuart Mills, the further he went, the more it looked like he was on a treadmill. He just couldn't get away from Lee Higgins, who is a real noted speedster as it is anyway. But it was a quick play of the ball. And then we saw Grant Smith just standing amongst the defenders. No one could really put him down or lock the ball up. And he's managed to wrestle his way over the stripe to bag 4 more points for the Helensburgh Tigers. And with a conversion not far from in front of the posts, Helensburgh looking to stretch this lead in the second half.
Yes, we'll make the margin 6 if he can get there. As you mentioned, not too much doing in attack there for the Tigers, but after that intercept, the big Dogs forwards who've had a lot of work to do in this half had to run all the way back there, got there but couldn't quite prevent the try. As Smith moves in and puts that one straight between the posts. So it's 24-18. 21 minutes to play. Certainly plenty of time here for Collegians. They just need to get a little bit of football.
Just under 21 minutes remaining in the match. The Tigers now 26. Collegians 18.
So they wait for the tee to come out. It'll be Daniel Burke looking to provide the restart. Margin still only 6. In fact, it is 8, as I've got it wrong there. That makes it 26-18. So a big amount to climb there for Collies, the margin being out to 8 points. Maths has never been my strong suit. As Ryan hit well there by Bowles. He shortened a few up this afternoon, Bowles. He can add another one to his list there. McRae onto Salamalakis. And Bremner, as he tends to do, he senses his big men going forward, loves to get in off the back of them, carries that ball up to halfway. McRae at dummy half. Mills looking dangerous again. They're 30 out, the Tigers. It is the last tackle. They go blindside. Lavuta, they've caught him short, a little bit short there. Maslanka, the ball onto Taroa. Taroa, and he's got there. Makes no mistake with that one. Great vision there. Put that down to Hayden McRae from dummy half. He got the call to the right. Senior player 2 in. Grant Smith was looking for the ball to put the kick in. He sensed they were a little bit short down that side. Obviously, Greg Davis having just come from the field on that flank. And some great hands there by Maslanka, and Taroa this time manages to deliver the finish.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Mitch. It was great vision from Hayden McRae in a dummy half. He spotted the 4-on-3 down that left side, and that's exactly where he went. And they've just used the hands nicely, the Helensburgh Tigers, to find Taroa, who again made it across the stripe, but this time got the 4 points against his name. Great play there from the Helensburgh Tigers, and it's all the Helensburgh Tigers in this second half.
Indeed, big test for Collies. Now, he mentioned missed a couple of weeks of football, could be breathing a bit heavy in those lungs. Certainly need at least something to go their way here to get back into this one. Sure, the message from Ryan Power will be complete. Get to the end of this set and keep the foot on the throat. Out there on the touchline, Smith moves in. Not a bad kick that, but waved away. Now a 12-point margin, though. That's 2 converted tries. A third if they want to get to the front here, Collegians. The short one there from Burke, perhaps sensing the urgency for his side there. Higgins gets the bat back. Noilea. He'll stop the ball inside touch. They've got the ball back, Collies. They're not going to die wondering here. Burke held there by Galately. As they go flat to Bowles. Lestrange poking his head out. He goes straight through. Lestrange looking for support. Can't find it. He'll be made to play it. 8 metres short of the line. So there to Chard. Chard still going. Haven't had to do much tackling yet, Helensburgh. They want to switch their defence on here, though. They're a bit short on that side. They've gone to Cassidy. He finds Tilly. Oh, and the last pass goes into touch. Well, they did all the great lead-up work there, Potsy, but the last pass cannons into the fence. Not what they were looking for there.
No, certainly not. Geez, they did all the hard work to get there. I like Lestrange coming out of dummy half early in the set there, spotting the big spacings between the A and B defender and just running straight through it to get his team moving forward. But as you said, it was that final pass to the winger, just didn't find its mark. And now Collies let the pressure off here with a penalty for a high tackle. Referee Jennett awarding to the Helensburgh Tigers. And as I take a look down from the commentary box to Nathan Feen, his head dropped as soon as that ball went over the touchline. It was a really good opportunity for Collies to bite back, but unfortunately the ball goes back over into touch.
Yeah, as we mentioned, they have had to shift a few people around on that side now. Mason Pure playing on the wing, Matt Tilley in the centres. Both very effective in the forward pack earlier on for the Dogs, but they're out there on that right edge now. As Mills takes it up to the 40. Salamalakis been very good since coming back on in the second half. He's up towards halfway.
Don't forget, folks, tomorrow we have another big day of
Galately bumps away from one, still going. Dragged down from behind there by Chard. Smith takes the ball to the line. Bounces away from one tackle. Held there by Burke. 2 sixes coming together there. McRae back to the inside, Lavuda. McRae in a dummy half. Finds Hayden McRae. The banana kick back looking for Bremner. And Lee Higgins does a good job taking that one, but he'll be forced back into his in goal. And if you can't come up with points, the repeat set's the next best thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Lee Higgins was trying his best there to get 1 foot back into the in goal to try and get the 20-metre restart for catching it on the full, but just unfortunately couldn't find his position there. And Helensburgh, with another great kick there from McRae, has been able to force another repeat set and a goal line dropout now to Collegians.
It was only just before half-time we were mentioning how good Daniel Burke and Luke Jerd have been off the boot for Collegians in this half. Thought that might have been slightly where the Dogs had the advantage, but in this second half, both the McRae boys really driving home the Tigers' advantage here with a kicking game of their own. Here's McRae at dummy half on a Lavuta. Scotty Allen goes off his right foot. Still got the legs pumping. 5 metres out. Tigers looking to land a killer blow. McRae brings Ryan underneath. Bit of footwork there from Ryan, still going. As they twist that one, he'll play it just short of the line. McRae onto Lavuta. That bounces off Lestrange. Could have been offside there, and he was. The margin 12 points. Interesting decision here. The 2 points will obviously put the margin out to more than 2 converted tries, and we see the bench signalling they do take the 2. Interesting decision, probably the right one, but they may have just been tempted to keep going there the way they had the Dogs on the rack.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think this is the right decision. It's an opportunity to take the 2 points on one hand, but on the other, it's a really good chance as well to chew some minutes off the clock here as well to try and work it down. Helensburgh have a really good, strong lead here, and the more time they can take off that clock, the less opportunity Collegians have. But then we go back to that missed opportunity there from Collegians earlier on with the ball going into touch. I saw in the media during the week, Blake Phillips mentioned execution was something that really didn't work last week at Thirroul in their game, and it was something they're going to work on today. But unfortunately, again, it's the execution that's really let them down.
It is one of those things. A lack of football can do that to you, and it really has been something Collies have had to deal with. And when you haven't played as much football as you would have liked coming into the finals, it is those little subtle things that can slip away just slightly. 32-18 with 12 to go. And I don't think the Tigers will be cruising to the finish here either. Pride themselves on being an 80-minute side, the Tigers. The Sufalo will take that ball there. Another short kickoff attempted by the Dogs. McRae, Galately gets the offload away again. The big long arms, Galately, he certainly managed to slip a few offloads out this afternoon. Smith, dummies on the inside, takes the defence on, crawls his way over halfway. McRae, no markers. We mentioned his vision out of dummy half at other stages this afternoon. He pinches a good 15 metres there. Bremner beats one tackle and another. Held up there on the 10. It is the last tackle. Shift the pass to McRae. McRae grubbers for himself. Higgins there to collect it, but a great kick there from McRae. And chalk another one up to the kicking game of the McRae boys.
Yeah, this is just clinical now for the Helensburgh Tigers. They're just going through their systems, going through their processes, working up through that middle third, completing the set, getting a good kick, and forcing a repeat set. But geez, they've been impressive this afternoon, the Helensburgh Tigers. I don't know that I could single one player out here this afternoon. They've all been good. We've seen the point scoring share between all the players, but I guess one mention could be to the doctor, Guy Galately, after what was a pretty disturbing tackle that he was on the end of where he was dumped on his head. He's certainly bounced back from that. It could have rattled anyone and maybe lost a little bit of form through it, but he's been very strong here this afternoon, Guy.
Certainly concur with that one, Potsy. As they've got over the try line again, they'll be held up on this occasion. Interesting, as we have mentioned, the kicking game of both Mitch and Hayden McRae was one of the things that a lot of people thought the Tigers may suffer from. Obviously, high-profile absentees, Jared Boyle, perhaps the best kicking game in the Illawarra Coal League. Not there for the rest of the season for the Tigers, was where they thought they may fall away, but certainly a great effort by both Mitch and Hayden McRae this afternoon. Off the boot, Benny Ryan still going forward. He's held dead in front of the post, 5 metres out. Flat ball for Salamalakis looking for his second. Held up again. Tigers with the foot on the throat, looking to drive the advantage home. They will group with Salamalakis to play the ball here on the 10. They shift it wide to McRae. Dummies. Held there by Phillips. Kick from McRae, looking for Taroa again. He gets the bat back there, but that one will roll into touch. Looked like Taroa did get the touch, that'll put it there. And it was the knock on there from the Tigers, so that will be a changeover. And you have to think if Colley's going to make any charge of this, it has to be now, Potsy.
Yeah, if Collies are going to move, they're going to have to move fast, and it's going to have to be inside this set. They're going to have to really move quickly to get back into this game and get some points. We're now down to 8.5 minutes left of the game, and that penalty will help. What appeared to be a lost ball, referee Jennett gives a penalty for a strip, and Collies will be looking for a quick touch finder here to get themselves on a roll.
Yeah, may be wrong. Maybe it's been the first one there. Collegians this afternoon, certainly the first one in a little while. As Jerd finds touch with that kick. On the 40. So it's now or never for the Dogs. Tilly takes that ball forward. Held 30 metres out. Bowles puts his hand up for another carry. Pinches an extra 5 metres. Lestrange, a dummy half. So Jerd straightens. And Jerd, well, he gives his side a hope here. We're dangerously close to the dead ball line there, but he's managed to ground the ball. Not sure what he was thinking in doing the old David Peachy there, especially with the game poised as it is. And all of a sudden, Nathan Feen up off his chair, delivering a few instructions there, and the Dogs, they have given themselves a sniff.
Well, that was some crazy stuff there from Jerd. All he had to do was get the ball down over the stripe, and he certainly put a heart attack through the Collegians bench as I look down at Coach Nathan Feen. But geez, what a great ball from Heath Lestrange there again, just showing his experience, feeding Jerd through a massive hole to score 4 points and just keep a slim chances of Collegians alive with just 7 minutes left to go.
It is what both Burke and Jerd have done well this afternoon, take the line on. They just haven't had any football in this second half. Their first visit, or second visit, of this half down this end. Of course, the first time Stuart Mills snaffled a kick and ran 80 metres. So a chance here for the Dogs. They do trail by 8. They'll need to find 2 tries, or at the very least a try and perhaps a penalty goal. Helensburgh in no rush to get things back underway here, but time still ticking away. McRae in no rush to get things back underway. 6 minutes on the clock. Would be a truly remarkable effort if the Dogs can come back and get out of this one.
Oh, it certainly will. It's been nothing but the Helensburgh Tigers the whole of this second half, and as you just mentioned, probably really the first opportunity that Collies had with the ball down that end of the field, and they've managed to come up with some points. So if, Collies get out of this one, it will be an absolute miracle. So obviously the message from Coach Powell for Helensburgh will be to defend hard in this set and just keep turning them away.
I certainly think if anyone is going to do it for the Dogs, I do tend to look towards Blake Phillips. It is a moment where he can break games open in this situation. It's something Coach Ryan Powell will know only too well. As they go out towards him now, use him as a decoy on this occasion. They go out to Higgins, onto Norleya. So a bit of enterprise in attack here. Collies just have their tails up slightly as they look to keep their season alive. Higgum, tackled there by Galately. Last tackle will need to come up with something here. They go right, Bowles. Out the back to Burke. Tries to put that one on the toe. And Lavuta's away. Still going, Lestrange giving chase. That'll test out the old hamstring. Great effort from Lestrange to run Lavuta down from behind there. Taroa looking to put this one to bed. Offload out the back to Allen. This is Safula. Tackled there by Higgin. McCallum, don't know if he was expecting that one, but he takes the ball forward. May well have been Colley's last chance there as Helensburgh look to try to put this one away. This is Ryan, 5 metres short. They go blindside again. Bremner, not a lot of adventure there, and he's gone straight out of dummy half, and he's just about put this one to bed there, Bremner. We have mentioned he loves to get into dummy half and mix it up, and he sensed an opportunity there, and he took it, Potsy.
Geez, wasn't he strong out of dummy half there, Wayne Bremner? He's given Luke Jerd a real big don't argue and just thrown him straight to the deck and charged over the line for a big 4 points for Helensburgh. And I'd like to think that we're just on 3.5 minutes to go. That could be the game for Helensburgh, and they move through to next week. While at the same time, season 2016 looks like over for the Collegians Collie Dogs.
It sure does. Bremner, as he's showing his strength there. He does play with the one on his back, but if you meet him in person, he's built like a back rower, Wayne Bremner. Obviously, he mentioned wife Sam earlier. She's a personal trainer, obviously keeps him in tip-top shape. And he showed the strength there. With Smith to move in and attempt this conversion. Margin currently 12, and it will be back out to 14 with the clock winding down. Smith providing that kick, been very good this afternoon in the 6th, Grant Smith. Really put his hand up for his side this afternoon. There's another short one there, maybe tackled in the air. They'll call play on. As Safula goes back in from dummy half. Helensburgh perhaps looking for one more 4-pointer here. Take a little bit more momentum into next week. There's Taroa from dummy half. Charges his way up onto the 40. Now it's Smith out of dummy half, goes blindside. Rolls the kick through for Allen in pursuit. Higgins coming across. And Higgins will take that into touch. So enough to clean up, but not enough to maintain possession for his side. Certainly can't fault Higgins' effort this afternoon. His side have been under the pump in the second half. But left it all in the tank to try to turn things for his side. He's produced a nice clean-up work at the back. Not the first time this afternoon, Potsy.
Yeah, the former Butcher and former Dragon NYC player Lee Higgins. He's done his best out the back there this afternoon for Collegians, trying to clean up as much as he possibly can. But Helensburgh just not looking to die at all. They're going to continue playing right through to the bell, and it was a great little kick. And Allen, as you mentioned earlier, he's everywhere, the young kid. He's all over the field, and certainly showed some good speed there to almost clean up. But here we go, Helensburgh with probably the final attacking chance for the afternoon.
Yes, short in stature but big in heart, Scotty Allen. As they go out to Lavuda. Been very good since coming off the bench as well, Lavuda, the young fella. Bit of an X factor for them as they go to Smith. On to Galately. Lingering in the tackle just a little bit longer there, Lestrange, buying some seconds for his side. Smith. Flat ball there for McCallum. Bremner looking to repeat his effort from just minutes ago. Smith feigns the kick. He's held up 5 metres out. McRae, another kick into the in goal. Benny Ryan went close to grounding. That will go dead, and with the clock winding down, that'll be all she wrote. Fantastic performance from Helensburgh. They push their season into another week. They will play in the preliminary final. For Collies, that'll be it for 2016. Fantastic effort, Potsy. They were under the pump there in the latter part of that first half, but stormed home in the second.
Yeah, they certainly did. Down 18-10 at halftime, the Tigers, and it was it was all for the work, all of them for the work to do in the second half to try and take this game, and they certainly done that. Collegians obviously didn't come out for the second half. They left a lot in the shed, and Helensburgh had all the ball. They had all the momentum, and at the end of the day scored all the points and have gone out convincing winners here this afternoon, 38-24 over Collegians, and move through into next week. But geez, it was a great team effort all round for the Helensburgh Tigers. As we mentioned before, everyone, the two McRae boys, their kicking game has been excellent. Hayden out a dummy half, just picking away, ducking in, chipping away at the line. Grant Smith, the veteran at 5'8", doing a wonderful job. But what a great game we've seen here this afternoon.
Indeed it was. We'll be back here tomorrow for the major semi-final. Western Dapto, looking forward to that one, Potsy. Until then, from Collegians Sports Centre, it's goodbye for now.
Come on into Collegians. Factory specialises in ribs, dry-aged steak and wood-fired pizzas, sourcing quality ingredients from the local area. So, see you at Collegians.
Is your smile holding you back? See the orthodontic specialists at Smile Team and discover how Invisalign could help you achieve the smile you've always wanted. Want to know more? Invisalign, the almost invisible teeth straightening aligners that will help you to create a winning smile. Contact Smile Team Orthodontics today to arrange your Invisalign assessment. Smile Team Orthodontics, 100% pure orthodontics.